So hello, welcome back to RSThinks. Today I'm at Marshall Volkswagen St Albans to pick up an ID.4, which I've kindly allowed me to borrow for the weekend, so I can try it out, see what it's all about, and also make a video about it so I can show you guys it too. So just looking in the showroom behind me here, we've got a whole slew of ID.3s. Now, this is a special area that they have in the dealership, which is set aside for electric vehicles. They've got quite a lot in here at the moment, all different colours, different specs. And if you just look over here as well, they've got like a ID hub, they call it, where they showcase all the electric vehicles and features and things. So yeah, I'm just waiting to pick up the car now, and then we can get on the road and I can show you what it's all about. So everything's signed now. I've just got the keys, handed over my life basically to say that I'm going to look after this car for the next 48 hours. But here it is in lovely glacier white with the 20-inch alloys on it as well. So all remains now is just to get it home, get it charged up for tomorrow, and then I'm going to be doing some extra filming bits and pieces tomorrow, so it should be good. So this is the day after you saw me pick the car up from St Albans. I've driven up to Milton Keynes on the motorway. Now, to do a bit of a range test, I used the cruise control all the way up the motorway. So from my house to here is just under 40 miles. And on the motorway, I set the cruise at 70. And the figures that I got 3.6 miles per kilowatt with an average speed of about 39 miles an hour. And the motorway journey was probably about 23, 24 miles. But there is a stretch in there of a 60-mile limit. So obviously, the adaptive cruise saw the signs, it reduced the speed down to 60, and then we just cruised at 60 until I actually came off at Milton Keynes. So I think that's pretty good. I think the quoted range is 310 miles WLTP. That would equate to just over 4 miles a kilowatt. So 3.6 is not that far off really. It's a nice sunny day, so the battery's warm. I think it's about 15 degrees. So I think in the height of summer, I think that would probably be quite achievable, like maybe 290, maybe 300 miles. Obviously winter, that's going to make a big difference. I'm not sure if this car's got a heat pump or not, because it's the first edition, but I'll put underneath if it has, I'll go and research that and then show you. But imagine if you did have one with a heat pump, I think that would be even more efficient, wouldn't it, if you're using it. So that's all good. Let's give you an overview of the car now. We'll walk around it, we'll start at the front and go to the back, and then we'll have a look inside at some of the key features. So you can see we've got 20-inch alloy wheels. Now the 20 front and back, the ones at the front are slightly narrower than the ones at the back. They are, what's the size on them? They're 235/50 20s at the front, and at the back we've got 255/45 20s. So they're slightly lower profile at the back as well. You've got the first edition badge on the side. You've got a black mirror. So the first edition gets a black mirror cover, whereas the other ones get a body coloured one. I believe black is an option as well. Similar to the ID.3 first edition, you've got the silver stripe that runs all the way front to back, from the A pillar to the rear pillar here. Again, this is specific to the first edition, but is an option with the other packs. The first edition also gets a black roof, and the other one's a body colour. Again, a black roof you can specify, but it is part of the option packs, the styling packs, so you can't just get the black roof by itself. This car also gets the silver roof bars. Again, you can get silver ones as part of the styling pack. Default is black ones. So let's look at the front. So straight away at the front, you've got the new style VW logo. This is one of the second cars to get it, the ID.3 being the first. You've got LED headlights, full LED headlights. They're not matrix headlights on the first edition, but you can get them on the other specs that will be coming out soon. The first edition has this white line across the front, but this one doesn't light up. I believe this only lights up when you get the matrix lights. I really like the way you've got this line here that follows down. To me, it looks like it's smiling, which I think is quite cool. You got the vents here, so the vents actually do something. They allow the airflow through, and then you got a grille at the bottom. I think the grille at the bottom's a bit, I don't know, a bit superfluous. Do you really need it? You've got other cars like this, so say the Tesla has no grille at the front. I think that looks quite nice. Do you really need it on this one? I'm not sure. So looking down the side, you got the first edition badge here. This will obviously change to be Pro or Pro S based on other versions that are coming out. This car's got a 77 kilowatt hour battery. I think it's 80 or 82, but 77 is what they're publicising because that's the usable capacity. It's got the 204 PS or 200 horsepower motor in it, which is the same that you've got in the Pro and the Pro S ID.4. So they're using a lot of the same underpinnings to this car. You've got flush door handles, which I think are really nice. And you've got kind of like a soft opening in there. There's like a button underneath that you pull, so the door handle doesn't actually move in itself. In the event of a battery failure though, when you pull the handle, the handle will work like a conventional handle, so the handle will actually move up, more like a mechanical unlocking function, which is quite good. So moving to the rear of the car, we've got these wraparound headlights that go all the way around the back. This part here is very Range Rover Evoque-like, Range Rover Sport-like, which is not a bad thing. You've got the indicators underneath here. They're not what they call dynamic indicators that kind of move from left to right when you're signalling. They're just kind of normal ones. I believe other models in the range are going to get those, so that'll look quite cool. You've got the red strip that runs full left to right, that actually lights up in the dark as well, and then underneath that you've got a reflective strip too, which is quite nice. You've got the badge again. Now the badge doesn't do anything on this one. On the ID.3 you would obviously have to pull the badge to open the boot, and also that's where the reversing camera is. But on this car you've got the reversing camera down here, and you've also got to reach underneath here to do the boot release. I think having the camera down here would make it prone to getting a bit kind of grubby, a bit dirty. And the beauty of having it inside here is it's always covered, so it's never getting dirty, so you have to wipe it. Just have a look in the boot. So the boot gives you 543 litres capacity. You've got various hooks and things in here so you can tie things down, which is also good. You've even got a strap on this side for, I don't know, something like a fire extinguisher or a bottle or something like that, which you could do. You've also got another floor underneath here, again similar to the ID.3, where you can put your charge cables and your towing eye and high-vis jacket and other things in there, first aid kit, whatever. So it's not a flat floor, but you get 1,575 litres of space with the seats down. You've just got a slight little hump here. I think on certain models as well, you can specify the false floor in the back. So once you've got the false floor, then you will have a flat load area in here. The boot on the first edition just has a manual close, but you can see that there is a space for automatic close button here. It's just not on the spec. Also at the back, we've got the extended roof line here with the spoiler, which just kind of smooths the airflow out, makes it more aerodynamic. I really like it. I really like the black roof as well. It really contrasts the night with the lighter colours. You've also got the charge flap in this corner. So it's a standard Type 2 with CCS for DC charging as well. It'll charge up to 7.4 kilowatts on a domestic charger on one phase. 3 phase it'll do 11 kilowatts, and DC charging will do up to 125 kilowatts, which I think is great. Because it's the bigger size battery, the 77 kilowatt hour one, the less time you can spend sitting charging, the better. Now the Skoda Enyaq equivalent version of this, if you want to go over 50 kilowatts, you've got to pay an add-on for that, which is, I believe, £450 to take it up to 100 kilowatts, maybe 125, but I'm pretty sure it's just 100. Now I think that's a bit money grabbing from Skoda. When VW can do it for free, Skoda are going to charge for it, but that's just the way things are at the moment. So if you've seen any of my videos before, I always try the rear for size to see if I could sit behind myself. So the seat is set for my preferred driving position, so it's comfortable. I'm about 6'2", maybe a little bit taller. So let's go and see how much room I've got in the back. So this is good. This is lots of room here. As I said, the seat's in my position. I've got this much space here, probably maybe 2.5 inches, something like that. We've got a pocket here. You can put your phone in or something. We've got a deeper, wider pocket at the bottom down here. In the middle, we've got 2 USB-C chargers, and we've got an air vent as well. So the rear people have got their own vents they can use. In the middle, we've got armrest, 3 spaces for cups, and we've got the ski flap in the back as well. And at the bottom of each seat, we've got RSThinks for child seats too. Now the seats are really comfortable. I've thought this in the front as well. I really like the fabrics on here. I think it's either Alcantara or something, but it's really nice and soft and really comfortable. Not so keen on the brown, but I think that would grow on me, I think. You're sitting on it, you're not really looking at it, so it's all about comfort really, isn't it? You've got lights in the ceiling as well, which are LED, and they're touch lights as well, so they fade in, fade out quite nicely when you use them. So yeah, I could easily sit comfortably in here on a long trip. Up front, the dash should be familiar to any ID.3 owner, driver. You've got the same steering wheel, same instrument panel here, you've got the same drive selector, indicators, even the same screen, all roughly the same location. One thing that is different is you've got the lights and the window heaters front and back down here on a panel, which is more akin to the left-hand drive version of the ID.3. They've got it sort of down there as well on the left-hand drive ID.3. So I think it's a more logical place to put it, rather than having it up in the dash here, which is where it is on the ID.3. Got the first edition badge in the steering wheel. Nice little touch there. So in the centre you have area for drinks holders. You can actually take this out as well and make it a larger space. You've got a rollback cover in here with space for a phone. You will get wireless mobile phone charging. I don't believe this car has it, but there are 2 USB-C data ports down here as well, and then a large area down here for other storage. You've got the armrests as well, which you can fold up, put where you want them. It's quite good. Now, really like the seats. The seats are really comfy, even more so than the ID.3 in my opinion. They also hug you a bit better as well. They've got more side bolster to them, and they've got more support in the shoulders because they're a little bit taller as well. They've got RSThinks on the front passenger seat as they have in the rear, and they've got a perforated ID logo here, which is quite a nice touch, which I like. And I just love the stitching as well. The stitching is really nice. They feel really premium, and they're really comfortable. Headroom. I'm 6'2" and a bit, so I've got like maybe that much headroom between the top of my head and the ceiling here, which is quite good. Driving position is also really good. The seats move quite far back as well. I can even move it a little bit back further still. I haven't got it on the full extent. And you've also got height adjustment down the side as well. So those are some of the external features and interior features of the car. That was like a static demonstration of that. So we'll go for a drive now, and then I'll give you some more information. The ride seems a little bit firm, which I don't have a problem with. Now, that's due to the actual weight of the car, which is just over 2 tons. Obviously, it's a big car. It's got one of the largest batteries, so it's got a bit of heft to it. That said, you can still put your foot down and it does actually go. The official 0 to 60 I think is 8 seconds, or just over 8 seconds, which is no slouch really. The ID.3 is a little bit quicker, just under 8 seconds. I think it's 7.3 or 7.4. But you can really notice the difference. I drove them back to back yesterday just to see what it was like going back into the ID.3 again, and you could really tell the difference. The ID.3 just felt so much lighter, and hence acceleration was so much quicker. So coming to the ID.4 from the ID.3 was really easy. Everything is in the same place, everything works the same way as well, even down to the keyless go that you've got. You just get in the car, foot on the brake, put it into drive mode, and off you go. That's exactly the same. So for somebody that wants to transition from an ID.3 to an ID.4, there's no learning curve. It's exactly the same, which is really good. The colours of the first edition, there are only 4 colours you can get. You've got the Glacier White, which is this car. You've got a Dusk Blue. You've got a Honey Yellow, and you've got Manganese Grey. Some of those cost extra because they're metallics, but there's only 4 in the first edition. Obviously, the other specs that are coming out, they've got a lot more range of colours. I think there's a silver in there as well somewhere. Another good thing about the car is you can actually tow with it too. From launch, I don't think you can specify tow bars yet, but I think they are coming, and they're going to be about £850 as a dealer fit option. They can let you tow an unbraked trailer up to 750 kilograms and a brake trailer up to 1,000 kilograms. So that's pretty useful. I'm not sure about caravans, how much does a caravan weigh, but certainly a trailer or even putting bikes on the back would be really useful. It is a family car. I've had my family in it and we absolutely love it, and I could really see this replacing our Kodiaq when the lease is finished on this. Obviously pricing being right, but we have got a couple of years to go yet with that, but it's exactly the same sort of, it would fulfill exactly the same function that we use it for. We do quite a lot of travel on the continent. We've got quite a lot of stuff that we take with us, and I could see this car being like a total replacement for it. It'd be absolutely perfect. It's got the fast charging, 125 kilowatts. It's got the big battery, and with the Ionity network on the continent, I don't see it being an issue. So hello again, you're joining me at Baldock Services, where I've come from Milton Keynes. Came down the M1 and then came over cross country to get here because I wanted to use the Ionity charger here just to see how much I get from it. Now, the journey to here was about 33 miles and I got 3.5 miles a kilowatt, which is still quite good. I've got about 80 miles, 85 miles left, I think. So I may not get the full 100 kilowatts from this charger here. I know the car can charge at 125, but I think we're limited to 100 kilowatts on this particular charger here. So let's plug it in and then just see what we get. Lots of clicking going on from the car. This is just syncing up and getting ready to charge. And there we go, it's showing we got 27% left. And so there's 70 kilowatts. So it's more than 50, but not quite 100. But as I said, it's because we've got quite a lot of charge in the battery still. In my ID.3, when I've been here and got 100 kilowatts, I've had to like almost run it down. So I've arrived here with like maybe 12-15% and a range of approximately like 40 miles or so. So we just see it's just popped up to 88 now. So yeah, so pretty good. As with the ID.3, there is quite a thick A-pillar here as well, but I think it's because I have been driving the ID.3 quite a lot. Obviously, it's my only other car, that I don't mind it anymore and I don't really notice it. But somebody coming to it new may take like a few trips to get used to just having to kind of peer around it a little bit when you're pulling out of junctions on roundabouts and corners. But as I said, I'm used to that now, so I don't really give it a second thought. The door bins are quite big as well. They're actually carpeted, so if you put anything in there that's going to rattle, it's going to deaden the noise a bit. You can easily get a water bottle in there, no problem. Also in the back, pretty similar size too. With this being an ID car as well, you've also got the ID light that goes across the dash, which is used for like sat-nav instructions and things. When you've got a turning coming up, it will actually flash right to left or left to right, depending on which way you need to turn. You can also use the ID voice. So if I say, "Hello ID, I'm cold."
No problem. It will get warmer at the front right shortly.
See there, so it knows that I'm on the driver's side of the car based on the direction of my voice, and it will warm up my side of the car. And it's actually changed the climate control there to 19.5. Again, all just using your voice. It's quite good to use because sometimes it's a bit kind of cumbersome using the interface. You've got to delve into some menus sometimes, there are other buttons to press, and while you're driving, there isn't just a button and then like a dial to turn like in a conventional car for your air conditioning. So the fact they made it voice controlled is good, but again, it is sometimes hit and miss whether it's actually going to work. You can also use it to control the radio station. You can also say to switch on the heated seating. In my ID, I've got the glass roof, so you can use it to actually pull the blind back and forwards as well, which is really cool. I've got a tip if you are going to order an ID.4 or even an ID.3. They don't actually come with the granny charger as standard. So the granny charger, what that is that's the 3-pin home charger, the 13 amp one that plugs into a domestic socket. Now, if you were to order it at the time of ordering your car, so it comes with your car, you're going to pay £180 for it. If you wait and then go back to your dealer and then you purchase it afterwards, that's going to cost you £215. So you can see there's a saving to be had of ordering it at the time you order your car, as opposed to going back later. There are third-party chargers you can get as well that are cheaper, but if you're really wanting the official VW one or whatever, then that's the way to get the best deal with that. So thank you so much for watching. It's been great to have this car for the last few days. It's all down to the dealership really. When I took my car in to Marshall's in St Albans, Marshall's Volkswagen, I just got speaking to the business manager there and just explained I have a YouTube channel, very much like to try the ID.4, and it's all down to him. His name is Tony, really nice guy. We had like a chat for ages about all things electric, so we're like like-minded people. And also when I picked the car up, I was introduced to David Hoyt at the dealer, and he's their ID.3 and ID.4 champion within the dealership there. So he knows everything there is to know about these cars. So if you're interested, go in there and ask for David. They're one of the bigger VW dealers in the area, and they were saying that they've put so many electric cars on the road recently because people are just going there because there's very high demand for them. When I was in the showroom the other day, in the early part of the video, you saw that they got quite a few actually in there that you can look at, all different specs and colours. So if you're interested in the ID.3 as well as the ID.4, then I would definitely recommend a visit there. So all that remains now is for me to take this back tomorrow morning and hand it back, give them the keys if they can get them out of my hand. So again, thank you for watching, and please like, share and subscribe.